What's up, good people? It's your girl, Safia Isha Jassi, aka Fire, because I stay bringing that heat and that water. So, I'm coming to you today with another update of how I'm feeling today. And just before coming on, the thought just entered my mind I can't give up. I can't just stop in this moment. I can't allow self doubt and my insecurities take over me. And I can't allow how things seem right now to affect or glitch the outcome that I have for the I Am event series, Disability, Art, Life, and Culture. And I just know that I just need to allow my mission to lead and guide me. And my mission is to provide to teach BIPOC people with disabilities how to use their skills, talents, and creativity of how to create opportunities for themselves and the importance of protecting their brand and intellectual property because there are a lot of vultures out here that are preying and taking advantage on how vulnerable BIPOC people with disabilities are, especially in the current state where we are right now and still working through the pandemic and still as a whole collective trying to get on our feet and just to expand on what disability is, to include people who have physical disabilities, people who are neurodivergent, and people who have chronic illness. Because I know, for me personally, when after I got hit by a car, I was in a wheelchair and I walked with a walker. But when I was able to start walking on my own, I noticed how people started treating me differently. Like everything was all right. And just because they could no longer see my disability doesn't mean that I wasn't struggling. And so, as a person who is neurodivergent, who have chronic illness, and it's very important for me to do this work because a lot of time our needs are overlooked, especially when I was working in working on projects in the disability community, and I seen how people ask for was easily to accommodate accommodate people who have physical disabilities or people who are blind or deaf. But as far as people who are neurodivergent and chronic illness, those the proper accommodations aren't set in stone. And it's like when we work on a project and you try to talk to people about what I need or how I work, and they don't instantly understand it. And so this is it's just so important that I bring to light about the wants and needs of people who are neurodivergent and have chronic illness. And I've been thinking about my project in whole and how I want it to be accessible for people with different types of disabilities. But I know my main goal right now is speaking from the perspective of someone who's neurodivergent and who have chronic illness. So in the app right now is in the phase about my learning journey of getting involved in the disability community as I'm learning about different ways to make art accessible and technology accessible for people with different type of disability. But I'm also taking into account of how I process things. And even though I want to make sure I have all these accessible features, but I don't want to be where I'm overworking myself. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to make sure everything is accessible, where I'm losing myself and it'll be days where I can't even get up. So I'm just using the I Am Event series as a learning experience. So like even though like I want to have like ASL interpreters for the virtual film screening, but I also know that for one version of the film, I did create a version that have captioning, and that's like accessible for people who are neurodivergent. So I'm just taking like each event in this series as like I'm learning more of how to make events more accessible. So like because I feel like I already done enough because I purchased a social event platform, which like each person who using the app will be able to customize their experience based on their accessibility needs. Because I also feel like sometimes, yes, we want to make things accessible for all, but we all need to have different versions because one accessibility might interfere with someone else like disability or challenges, because I know for me, like I know like audio description for films are very important for people who are blind, but being like me, like I'm neurodivergent, and like I'm very sensitive, I get overstimulated very easily. So like watching a film, having the visuals, and then when you add on the audio description, I become overstimulated and I'm not able to process things fully as I want. So I'm just taking in all of this, all the things that I'm learning about myself throughout this process. Because throughout this whole process, I've been learning how to be more kind and gentle with myself and learning how things like really affects me and what are the small changes, or how can I create structure where I'm not putting excess pressure on myself, I'm not overwhelming myself, and I'm not like making me feel like I gotta be perfect all the time. So like yeah, I'm just taking in all that into account as I'm drawing near to the first event of the I Am event series, Disability, Art, Life, and Culture. And I just think that's very important as like people, as BIPOC people who have disabilities, that we learn how things like affects us and how we need to navigate through things where we don't feel overstimulated or feel like we have to put other people's needs before our own when we kind of is affected or struggle about something. So yeah, that's all I want to come on and say. And I thank all you beautiful people for joining me on this journey. And once again, the app for the first event, the the Welcome to Our Healing Sanctuary film screening, is available for you to download on Google Play or the Apple app. So yes, you would just put in the title "Welcome to Our Healing Sanctuary film screening," and I hope to see all you beautiful people there. And I just want to remind you to be kind and gentle to yourself, as I too am learning to be more kind and gentle to myself. Peace out, beautiful people.